Today we are going to be looking at the Oppo A92S, the latest model from the A series line of Oppo devices. The A series line promises an ultra-thin design, AI photography, an immersive screen, and long-lasting battery. So, what are the dimensions of the A92S? The phone itself measures 6.5 inches by 3 inches. It weighs in at 184 grams, coming in between the Galaxy S20 and the iPhone 11. The phone should not be any problem, and it will fit into most pockets, although you should probably check to see that you don't have the jeans or pants that can't really fit those larger phones in. The Oppo A92S has a large 6.57-inch IPS display with a resolution of 1080 by 2400 pixels and a 401 pixel per square inch density. This will make reading text and watching videos really nice, and the experience will be really captivating. One of the flagship features that Oppo is pushing for the A92S is the 120Hz refresh rate, which is found on the more newer flagship devices of other manufacturers. This will make reading text or scrolling through social media pages and watching videos a much more pleasant experience, and playing games will be a lot better. The OS that this phone, the A92S, comes with is Android 10. We should probably expect newer versions, and Oppo will probably be pushing some updates when they come, at least for about a year or two. The processor that will be found on this device is an octa-core MediaTek MT6873V Dimensity 800 5G, which is a mouthful to say, but although this may seem like it's a really nice processor, it still falls more along the lines of the mid-range devices. This is to be expected because the A92S is not the flagship device of Oppo, but it's still really good and is still a good buy. The GPU on this device is a Mali G57MP4, which is also not the best, but it's not the worst. It's a mid-range GPU along with a CPU, which is more than enough to give a user a very good experience, a really good gaming media experience. As for the RAM, you can pick up this device with either the 6GB or the 8GB, and the internal storage is 128GB for any of the variations that you get. The universal flash storage technology that you'll find on this device is the 2.1, which falls in the mid-range range. It's not the best, but it won't be the worst. You could expect about 600 megabyte per second read and response rate, but of course the newer 3.1 is out, and that is almost double at about 1400 megabytes per second. Now we move on to the main camera. The Oppo A92S features a quad camera, which is found on the more higher end devices. For a mid-range device, this is something that is quite nice to have. The camera itself is a 48 megapixel wide lens with an 8 megapixel ultra wide lens, a 2 megapixel macro lens, and a 2 megapixel camera that is for depth. It has an LED flash with HDR and panorama, which is found on almost any device these days. The video will be shot at 2160p at 30 frames per second. You can also shoot at 1080p at 30 frames per second. As for the front camera, it's a dual camera with a 16 megapixel wide camera and also a 2 megapixel camera for depth, also with HDR, and it can shoot video at 1080p at 30 frames per second. The phone has a loudspeaker and it does have a 3.5mm jack for audio. The phone has all the communicative technologies that you can find on most other devices. Of course, the phone has Wi-Fi, it has Bluetooth, it has GPS, NFC, and the USB is 2.0 though. It's a Type-C connector and it supports USB on the go. The fingerprint sensor on this A92S is side mounted. It has an accelerometer, a gyro, proximity sensor, and a compass. The 3890 mAh battery is more than enough to get you throughout the day. The phone also supports fast charging at 18 watts. You can get the A92S in black or blue and white. The Oppo A92S is expected to start at 290 euros. All in all, the Oppo A92S is a nice mid-range device packed with some really nice flagship features. The camera is sure to take some really nice shots. The specs of the device are sure to keep you going without much lag, and the battery